Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to this week's We Do 3 Weigh-In Wednesday edition.
Hey guys!
Hello!
We're here again this week to talk about our Weigh-In Wednesdays, our results, how our last week went, what our weight is today, how our next week is going to go. Basically, we're just going to cover all those bases as we do every week on our Weigh-In Wednesday series.
Chill!
Last week went pretty good for me. I wouldn't say it was my best week ever. I think that I've kind of had an emotional eating reaction to getting the PCOS diagnosis. I am a total emotional eater, so when I am in a moment where I'm feeling like stressed or overwhelmed or sad or even happy, I will totally eat my feelings. And I think I did that a little bit last week. I don't think it was like a huge fall off the wagon, kind of like binge on all the unhealthy things kind of scenario, but I did go off the wagon just a little bit, like just a foot off, like just a little bit. And I think that definitely had an effect on my weigh-in this week, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But I also feel like I have not been doing as good a job as at getting to the gym or being active like during the day. We've been in a really busy week this week. Our work, we just moved offices. We had a really busy weekend. We both served at church this last weekend, had family up, had our fridge break on Saturday, and had to deal with it all the rest of the day. Sunday. After church. So we've had just like a really crazy week. We're just kind of getting back into a spot where we feel settled and like back into our routine. And for those of you who have lost weight before or are in the middle of weight loss, you know that routine is like number one. Like every day has to be the same for you to keep your consistency, and it's just not been like that this last week. So I've been personally struggling with that. I'm working my way back to the spot where I feel like I'm getting everything done consistently.
I would agree. I mean, having the fridge break after we just bought a whole fridge of really nice, actually kind of expensive organic food, which I think Alicia's going to mention in just a minute, and then to have your fridge break, and then to have to move all of the food the next day after serving for 3 or 4 hours, which is actually a blessing. We really do enjoy serving, but it was just more time away from being able to fix our fridge. So getting to our current weight, I am the same, which is super lame because now this is the part about accountability with having it up on the internet, is now I'm realizing, all of you are realizing as well with me, that I have not changed weight for 3 weeks. So this is a problem. So I think we're going to talk about our new way that we're going to be grocery shopping and how that's going to manage our weight and also manage our diet.
And my weight for this week, I'm actually also the same. I lost 3 pounds my first week and went from 220 to 217, and this morning I was like 217.8. So we're both the same this week, which means that you can tell like last week was kind of a hectic one. We got off the wagon a little, we got off track as far as like our exercise and getting to the gym, but we're both really, I think putting it up on the internet really does help us stay accountable and helps us realize what patterns we're in.
Right.
It's definitely like introspective.
Having everybody give us comments on Facebook or even calling us out in person saying like, hey, I just followed your vlog, or I'm seeing you with your TTC updates, or I'm following your Weight Loss Wednesdays. Those are really great. Having you come up to me and be like, hey, like how is that going? I really appreciate it, but it also helps give me encouragement for the rest of the week, and it really helps keep me in check throughout the week as well, so thank you.
Definitely. It really helps us to just like have that accountability piece, and now we're kind of seeing the fruits of our labor in that way. Now that it's the 3rd week and we're still kind of like, we're trying to get there, we're seeing like we need to make it more of like a priority. Right. And I think that's our goal for this next week.
Agreed.
And that actually brings us to what we're going to start doing ongoing for our food plan. If you haven't seen our Trying to Conceive videos on our channel, then you might not know I was just recently diagnosed with PCOS. That kind of changes our plans for food a little bit. If you've seen our last Weigh-In Wednesdays, you've known that we are following Weight Watchers, or we're following Weight Watchers, and plan to use that as basically our food plan for while we're losing weight. Because I do have PCOS, we need to change it up a bit. At first it was first it was just about weight loss, and now it's kind of a little bit more about what kind of food I'm getting. It's really important with PCOS management, and you can Google all about that to find out more about it. Basically, when you have PCOS, it's better to track your macronutrients, like how many carbs are you eating, how much lean protein are you getting, like how much sugar are you intaking. And that's what we're gonna move closer to. I'm going to start just food journaling and writing all that information down. And by writing it down, I mean using the MyFitnessPal app instead of my Weight Watchers app. So it's similarly as far as tracking your food, it's just a little bit different. Different sorts of foods are allowed or like advisable for you to eat under each one. Under the plan that we're going to be following ongoing, it's a little bit more towards like healthy fats, lean protein, fruits and veggies, nuts, whole fat dairy in moderation. Things like that are really important, and that diet is supposed to be really helpful for managing my PCOS.
I suppose you could kind of call it a Paleolithic / keto diet. We started by going to the farmer's market this Saturday to pick up some organic vegetables and fruits. We picked up some free-range eggs and free-range hormone-free beef.
It was basically just a blitz on like we need to start making sure our food intake is different, the sources are different, definitely making more of an investment every week into the kinds of foods we're getting. We followed up that visit to the farmer's market with another visit at Trader Joe's and basically just stocked our fridge and then had to replace it, which is what you mentioned earlier. We filled it with all these awesome things and then had to replace it. So that's what he was talking about. No, not the food. With that, thankfully the food kept even though the fridge broke, and we were able to just transfer it over to the new fridge. So we're all stocked up with this great, organic, amazing food. We've been trying to stay on track and like making sure that's what we're eating. You know, we're not going out to get food, which is a natural tendency for us. Not buying things to eat and rather just eating the good food we have at home.
For sure.
And that's actually going to be the plan that we continue to follow throughout our weight loss. Since I have to follow it, it stands to reason.
I'm going to follow it.
I mean, it's just, when you're married, it's easier. Like if one person's doing a thing, the other person has to kind of do it. Because otherwise it's like you're buying two different kinds of groceries. And
it gets ridiculous and non-economical at the same time.
Totally.
So like Alicia said, we're going to be using MyFitnessPal. Follow the links below for either our usernames or our links for the FitnessPal
diaries. We also will still be using our Fitbits, our Charge HRs, starting to post some of our Fitbit results every week. We'd like to kind of give a recap on social media about how our weeks went, maybe like Sundays or maybe even on Wednesdays when we do the update about like how many steps we are. I'd kind of like to turn it into a competition just because that would also make me more motivated. We'll see.
Definitely. If you're not following us already on MyFitnessPal or with our Fitbits, you might want to because it's going to get interesting.
That's right. This is the week that we're really going to get back on track with it. So if you want to watch our progress as it's happening, those are the places to find it.
Pretty much.
That brings us to our fitness plans for this week. Basically, last week's was non-existent. I don't even think we made it to the actual gym once. I know that we took the dog on a couple walks, but that was basically it. So this week, I'm going to try to get really back on track. What I really want to start doing is something that helped me the first time I lost a great deal of weight. I've done it a couple times in my lifetime, so I know what works for my body. I would really like to start doing Jillian Michaels' 30-day shred. The only problem is kind of logistically, like when to get it in the day, as far as doing it every single day.
That's always an issue too, is when are you going to fit in your workout with the rest of your life? But again, that falls into falling into a routine.
Definitely. So if I can get into a routine where I'm doing it every day, that would be ideal for me. I would love to do that and then also go to the gym for additional weight training sessions and cardio. The other thing that works really well for me initially for losing weight is the Couch to 5K program. So those are the two things I'm going to aim for this week as far as like what my fitness looks like. Those things help me pick up my fitness level really quickly so that I can move on to like some more hardcore kind of workouts.
Ideally, I would also like to get back to the gym more. I think we had a really good stint of time, obviously not last week, but the week before, where we were hitting it every day, if not every other day. And so I really enjoyed that too. It's just a good way to get off some steam and get off your butt. So when I get to the gym, usually I like to start off with a good cardio warm-up and then hit the weights. I think for me, the weights are what get me revved up the most. And my plan is to just get to the gym more often. That didn't happen last week, like Alicia said, but I'd definitely like to get them more often this week and hit the weights and get on some cardio action.
And that's it. That's our this week's Weigh-In Wednesday and our update. As you can tell, we're kind of stalling a little bit. We need a lot of motivation to keep going. the PCOS diagnosis for me was a lot of motivation for me to really change it up this week and pick it up.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that that'll carry me through to next week's update, where I hope to have a much bigger loss for you instead of just maintaining.
Heyo.
So if we can both get there, that's our goal.
Yep.
We'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for your likes, your comments, your subscriptions to our channel, and following along with our Weigh In Wednesday series. We super appreciate it and love all of the comments that we've been getting and people saying, hey, thank you for sharing about your journey and it's encouraged me to start, or I'm following along and I hope you do great.
Encouraging to share us more on Facebook. Like, we appreciate all of it, guys. Thanks.
Totally. It's all amazing. So keep doing it. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Keep going with us. We need all the help we can get and we'll take it wherever we can. Thank you guys so much and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in to this week's We 3 update.
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 This is the update.